Good evening, and well, it's actually not a good evening. We got some bad breaking Dolphins news for you guys today. Jalen Ramsey is going to undergo knee surgery. Sounds like it'll be done tomorrow, and he is likely to miss at least parts of the upcoming season and could very well be out until December after a knee injury suffered today at Dolphins training camp. We'll break it all down, what's next for the Dolphins, and keep you covered throughout Dolphins training camp right here on Dolphins Today. So if you have not already, now is the time to subscribe. We have you guys covered. I know it's late on the East Coast. It's like after or around 7:30 by the time you're watching this video. We're here late at the office getting the news you guys need to know. Ramsey will undergo knee surgery and will miss at least part of the season most likely. There is a scenario that exists in which Jalen Ramsey actually returns closer to the start of the season. It's a meniscus injury for Jalen Ramsey. It is not a torn ACL, which means he should be back at some point. But if you have the full meniscus repair as opposed to just the trim meniscus, the trim meniscus is 6 to 8 weeks. The full meniscus repair is closer to a much longer time frame and would put him back maybe around some point in December. So basically, Ramsey should miss some time. The current kind of tentative plan is he's going to get the full repair, and that will put him out until December or so. If it's the trim, maybe he ends up missing a little bit of less time, but the likely outcome is whether it's 1 game or 12 games or 14 games, whatever, the Dolphins will be without Jalen Ramsey to begin this season, which is just brutal. So Tom Pelissero broke this earlier today, at least had some info on it. Going to miss at least 6 to 8 weeks because of a meniscus injury that will require surgery. That is the 6 to 8 week time frame is your trim time frame. Doctors will determine whether to remove the meniscus or repair it, which would be a much longer recovery. Here is what Ian Rappaport mentioned all of 10 minutes ago as we started filming this. More info and clarity on Dolphins star cornerback Jalen Ramsey. Sources say while no firm determination will be made until surgery, the likely outcome is a full meniscus repair, bringing Ramsey back in December if all goes well. The best and healthiest option. Not a great outcome for the Miami Dolphins. We had filmed an entire video on it's probably only going to be 6 to 8 weeks. Yay! And then we were about to hit publish, and Rappaport's information came across, so we redid the whole damn thing. Give me your one-word reaction in the meantime to the Jalen Ramsey injury news. It is today's pinned comment, so if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and go vote. My one-word reaction, sucks, because this sucks. This is a brutal way to start the season for the Miami Dolphins. It does sound like it could have been worse. At least there's the hope, as Ramsey has tweeted out himself, of that late season push to make the timing work and make a playoff run for the Miami Dolphins in the AFC East. But you made this trade for a superstar caliber corner with the hope, expectation, and goal of him making a significant impact for the Dolphins in 2023. You're not likely, again, door remains of possibly being only 6 to 8 weeks, but you're not likely going to get Ramsey for much more than the back end of the season and the playoffs, which still could be worth it in the end. Ramsey is still one of the better corners in the NFL. How much longer he has at the top of his game, that's up for debate, but the timing is fine from this perspective. Like if it's the Dolphins timeline, I should say. But you were banking on it was going to be Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Howard, Kader Kohou, Nick Needham when he gets healthy. Cam Smith is going to be out there. And that was a nice value draft pick. This is a great cornerback group. Now, it's not quite the same. The good news is, the silver lining, if you will, is there are still viable pieces in the Dolphins secondary, and losing the number one corner doesn't hurt the Dolphins as bad as it could have hurt other teams. Now, Kader Kohou has played inside and outside. Xavier Howard was obviously going to start. With Ramsey healthy, the plan was Kohou would be your nickel corner in theory. Now he might need to play some on the outside. Maybe it's a scenario where Kohou starts on the outside, and then in nickel packages, maybe somebody else comes in with Xavier Howard on one side, Kohou on the other, maybe Cam Smith. is the other piece. Nick Needham is banged up right now. He's on the PUP list. We'll see when and if he comes back this year, hopefully, in theory, before Ramsey to give the Dolphins some more depth. But now you feel really good you drafted Cameron Smith. Now you're like, okay, at least we have another option now. He's been up and down so far at training camp. That's fine. He's a rookie, facing off against some great receivers, be some great iron sharpens iron type of deal there. But you're glad you have Cam Smith on the roster, and it does buy the Miami Dolphins some options, and I have to go like, oh my God, I'm going to go sign somebody else. They can get by with what they have right now. So what is your confidence level in the corners without Jalen Ramsey? Scale it for me from 1 to 10. Assume it's for, 3/4 of the season. 1 on the low end, you're hitting the bottle and you're just drinking right now. 10 being you're feeling great, you're feeling confident with where the Dolphins are at, no concerns at all. Go vote for me in the comment section. It is still a good group right now. This is not the same like arguably the best group of Dolphins corners ever or the best cornerback group in the NFL, but it's still a quality group. It's also not the same without Jalen Ramsey. And I'll make a note here, by the way, on Jalen Ramsey, important to consider here. You will not see Miami put him on the PUP list or the NFI list because they cannot do so. The PUP list and NFI list only work before training camp begins. So what the Dolphins are going to have to do here is carry Jalen Ramsey all the way through roster cutdown time. And then they will put him on injured reserve, allowing them to make him eligible to return later on in the season, which means somebody is going to have to be subjected to waivers if they're younger, or if it's a veteran, Robbie Anderson could actually be that guy. Hey, bud, we're going to release you, but we will bring you back, we promise, on the same deal, maybe a little bit extra money. Don't sign anywhere else. We're just going to cut you for now. We'll bring you back. Those are only for veterans who are not subject to waivers, and they have to be on the right contract. So I'm looking at the roster right now. That could be, maybe Eric Sauber could be a fit there as a veteran piece. Chosen Anderson, or excuse me, Robbie Chosen fits that, but you will require some roster kerfuffling, I'll call it, later on when you get to roster cut down time. In the end, don't we feel glad the Dolphins drafted Cam Smith, by the way? Kind of a big deal. This would be a little bit different conversation if it was Kader Kohu, Xavier Howard, an injured Nick Needham, and then it'd be Igbignogany. That wouldn't be a strong outcome in the end for the Miami Dolphins. Disappointing night, disappointing day for Ramsey to get hurt. It's been some early injuries across the NFL. Very disappointing. Hopefully that does not continue to be the case. So if you haven't already, hit that sub button, youtube.com/Dolphins News. More free videos each and every single day.